Using a hole saw, and in this case the Blue Spot hole saw kit. It's a great little kit for the money. It goes from 3/4 of an inch, or I think 19 millimeters. I'll have a quick look at the box. 19 millimeters right up to 127 millimeters, or 5 inches. It's a shallow hole saw kit. It's not designed to cut anything more than deeper than about 25 millimeters. You can of course cut deeper by chiseling out the first 25 millimeters and then carrying on, but to be perfectly honest, this kit is perfectly adequate for stuff up to 25 millimeters, or perhaps 20 millimeters I would say, but after that you need to be looking at deeper hole saw kits. This will also cut some light steel sheets as well. It's a great little kit. It's not industrial, it's for the home improver. And as with all hole saw kits, it comes in this particular set, comes with 2 arbors. The first arbor, the smaller of the 2 arbors, is for the smaller of the 2 sets. As you saw from an earlier shot, there are 2 kind of individual sets of hole saws. The smaller set fits the smaller arbor. So let's use that. Let's take that off. So we take the nut from the arbor, and if you look closely you can see that on one side of it there's a little grub screw, and a hex key is given to you with the kit. So you undo that hex key slightly, and then removing the pilot drill from the bigger set for now so that we can show you how it works. The pilot drill itself has got a little flat on one side. The cameraman's got a nice close-up of that. The flat goes in opposite the hex screw. And it will do if I've undone it enough. So push that well in, and then we tighten up on that hex screw onto the flat. The little grub screw tightens up onto the flat of the pilot drill, and then we can insert the pilot drill and the arbor through the hole. The square edges of the arbor, can we get a close-up of that again? You can see that the square edges fit into the square edge of the hole in the center of the hole saw, and then we screw on our retaining nut onto the arbor. Okay, now we give that a little tighten with our spanner to make sure that's in place. So that's the little set with its pilot drill in place. So let's undo that and we'll go through the big set. Okay, so we'll undo the grub screw again. The bigger arbor, and again you'll see that we need to put the pilot drill into the arbor with the flat facing the hex screw. We'll tighten that up. You can feel it biting on the pilot drill, so give that a good twist so that we know that's tight. And then we'll take a kind of mid-range bit, and you can immediately see the difference between this and the smaller set, in that there are 2 additional holes in the plate of the hole saw. Now they are to strengthen the drill when you're drilling the bigger holes. There's an awful lot of torque on the let's use an even bigger one so that you can see much more clearly. There's an awful lot of torque on this center hole, because the bigger the hole saw, the more it's inclined to bind into your timber or the surface that you're drilling. So by putting the arbor through the center and then using the support collar over the arbor and into the 2 additional holes, and then tightening up our nut, the force and the torque that we're going to apply to our pilot drill, a lot of it is taken up by this collar and spread out to the 2 holes that are in the plate of the hole saw. So by twisting that, the whole thing is twisting now, rather than relying on that center hole to take all of the torque. So we'll put that into our drill. Okay, now it's a really good idea to use a power drill for the larger size hole saws, because as I said, they do bite. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Sometimes the hole saw itself will bind into the timber, especially if you haven't got the saw absolutely square to the timber. Sometimes it binds, and with a battery powered drill, sometimes that can stay in place, but with a more powerful drill you can actually get through that. So try and get the drill face as square as you can, the drill bit face as square as you can to the work. Start with a slow speed, push down into the timber. Let me put my mask on for this. I should be wearing my glasses on for this. I should be wearing a mask, obviously I'm in a workshop, but if I did that you wouldn't be able to hear me speak. So I'm just going to put these down. And you can see, if I tilt this towards the camera, you can see quite clearly that we've drilled a hole straight the way through there. Now the final thing that you need to know about a hole saw is that, of course, the timber that you've cut out, and these are why these are shallow, the timber that you've cut out, the surplus timber, stays in the hole saw. So quite clearly you can't drill in one go any deeper than the depth of the hole saw anyway. So when you've got down as far as you can with that, you use a screwdriver or a screw or something to push that timber up. There are holes provided in the side of each hole saw bit to allow you to get something in there. I'm using a screwdriver at the moment. It's not the best thing to use, a bradawl possibly, or a nail, anything that goes in there to allow you to get that piece of timber to the top, and then you can twist it around the drill to remove it. So keep that clean. We've had a lot of people wondering why they can't drill any deeper into a piece of timber, and it's quite simply because their hole saw's full up. So that's how to use a hole saw, in particular the 16-piece Pro hole saw set from Blue Spot. It really is a great set for the money. Very strong, especially with the supporting collar, and goes right up to 5 inches, which is great for a hole saw set. We like it a lot.